What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey, and tonight we are going to talk about the Detroit Lions visiting the Kansas City Chiefs for the season opener of the NFL on Thursday night. All right, so let's start with the line. The line started off or opened up at Detroit plus 6.5, and the over/under opened up at 54.5. The over/under and the line have since moved since the announcement of Travis Kelce hyperextending his knee in practice. What they're basically saying in Vegas is Travis Kelce is the best tight end of all time. Because usually you do not have a tight end or anybody that's a non-quarterback for that matter being worth more than 1 point. And Travis Kelce, they're saying he's worth 2. Well, that probably means that Travis Kelce being the safety blanket for one Patrick Mahomes is going to be vital to what's going to happen in this game on Thursday night. So let's go ahead and get into this right now, right? So, what's new for the Detroit Lions? Well, first and foremost, they traded Swift to the Eagles, replaced Swift with first-round running back Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. All right, he is a beast. Expect him to be utilized a lot. He is someone akin to Alvin Kamara if you are someone who does not pay attention to college football. So when you see Jahmyr Gibbs out here or you hear about Jahmyr Gibbs, he is going to be something like Alvin Kamara. I really, really am excited to see this young man play, especially in this offense. And then paired in the backfield with David Montgomery, running back that they picked up for the Bears. I just think that this offense is poised to take off. But I digress, man. Let me keep going. So another person you want to pay attention to is tight end Sam Laporta from Iowa, 6'4", 249-pound second-round pick. Now Sam Laporta, not only is he a good route runner, but he had the steadiest hands in the draft. So really and truly, you guys might want to pay attention to what's going on with this Lions offense, especially since he will be in the Hockenson role. So since he will be in the Hockenson role, expect to see that man get a lot of passes. Now, let's also look at what's going on in this defense. So the Detroit Lions also drafted in the second round, 6 foot, 194-pound cornerback or defensive back out of Alabama, Brian Branch. Now, he played safety at Alabama. But in the NFL, he can play both safety and corner, and apparently he will be starting at the nickelback for the Lions. So this will be utilized to shore up that pass defense that that porous pass defense the Lions had last year. Hopefully, he'll be able to do what he needs to do, especially since they're going to be able to use Gardner Johnson that they got from the Eagles at safety. Remember, last year he had 6 interceptions. And when you're pairing him up with Kirby Joseph, who had 4 interceptions last year, led the team for the Lions in interceptions, expect to see some good defense out there for once. The ability to actually stop a pass for once by the Detroit Lions. Their actual draft grade from Pro Football Focus was a B+. Of course, they are returning starters like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was good for 1,161 yards last year, 106 receptions and 6 touchdowns. Jared Goff at quarterback, 4,438 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 99.3 rating, and a 65.1 completion percentage. Aiden Hutchinson, first round number 1 pick for the Lions last year, gave him 9.5 sacks. And of course, like I was telling you earlier, that running back that they got, David Montgomery, will be running behind a top 5 offensive line in the NFL as graded by Pro Football Focus. So the Lions are definitely an exciting team, something you want to pay attention to, something you want to watch. But to give you some more stats, so last 5 games versus Kansas City went over when you're talking about the Lions. And last year, Detroit's non-division over-unders was 7 over and 4 under. Dan Campbell is 20-9 as a dog against the spread, 13-9 in non-division games against the spread, 2-0 for the opening night of the last 2 years against the spread. So, man, those are some numbers that you definitely want to pay attention to. You definitely want to remember, especially when it's a game of this magnitude. I mean, the whole world will be watching this game. The Lions are so hyped up right now, it's not even funny. And then everything that's going on with the fact that Chris Jones is still out for Kansas City, he's still sitting out. And then, of course, we already spoke about the tight end that'll be missing, Travis Kelce. Yeah, those are pivotal parts of this Kansas City team that will be sorely missed if they do not play on Thursday night. To give you a couple more stats on the lines, and then we'll get into the Kansas City Chiefs. So Jared Goff was 25-19 against the spread as a dog, and 34-32 against non-division teams against the spread. So what I'm getting from that is that this team is not something to be trifled with when it comes to the spread. Now, if you're talking about winning the game outright, it might be one thing, but against the spread, this team fights, man. Let's get into Kansas City. So Kansas City, of course, like I said before, is missing Chris Jones, and who's in a holdout, and Travis Kelce, who unfortunately has hyperextended his knee. They did, however, add a couple players. Felix Anudike Uzama, 6'4", 256-pound defensive end out of Kansas State. He filled a need that they really needed over there in Kansas City with an edge rusher. They also drafted a great wide receiver by the name of Rashee Rice at 6'1", 204 pounds out of SMU. Pay attention to him because he was the steal of the draft. He earned strong grades from Pro Football Focus, finished the top 10 in the nation for both deep and screen catches and contested catches last year. On Thursday night, the Chiefs they go over 8 times and they went under 1 time out of the last 9 games versus teams that are over 500. Mahomes is 26-24 against the spread at home, 41-40 against the spread as a favorite, and 34-28 against the spread against non-divisional teams. Last year, he threw for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He was sacked 26 times. Passer rating was 105.2, and his QBR rating was 79. His completion percentage was 67.1%. Now, the Lions started the season last year 5-3-1 against the spread and finished 7-1 against the spread. With the way they finished the season. So they basically finished overall 12-4-1 against the spread and 9-8 straight up. Now, odds this year for their favored to win the North with the season total of 9.5. Now, the Chiefs last year went 9-11 against the spread, even though they went 17-3 situationally and won the Super Bowl. All right, now, just so you know, the Lions are the fastest starting offense in the NFL. All right, and man, last year they averaged 10 points per game in the first quarter, more than any other team in the NFL. And they're also going against one of the worst defenses. The Chiefs' defense last year ranked 28th in red zone efficiency. So what does all this tell me? What do I get from all this? All those numbers, all those stats. Well, first and foremost, I was heavy on the over at first just because of the fact that they were 5-0 going over the last 5 times they played. Then you're looking at 2 teams that are looking to score a lot. The defenses aren't great. But when you're looking at the line drop and the over-under drop, that gives you caution to kind of pay attention to. Because at the end of the day, these are 2 of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL, man. Like, it's not something to be played with. So that over-under might actually still hit. What I am actually going to take, though, is the one thing I am going to mess with on this game is I'm going to mess with that 4.5. I am going to take that 4.5 because I honestly believe that the Lions will be able to keep this close without Chris Jones out there and without Travis Kelce on the offense. Remember, that is the safety blanket for one Patrick Mahomes. So, me personally, if I'm gonna mess with the game, I'm gonna take that 4.5. But if I'm gonna mess with the over/under, then I gotta take it over last 5 times it went over. Gotta rock with that, you guys. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, and I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.